let's just clarify your experience and qualifications. You testified about your experience, and if I took my notes correctly, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. You are more than 30 years, you have more than 30 years experience. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
Maybe to be precise, how many years of experience?
36 years.
36.
36.
And in the service or in the experience of 36 years, working experience in the SAPS, we have only dealt with 4 pointing outs. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
36, I'm pointing out and Wednesday out 4.
Including this one that you are dealing with.
My lord, this one is number 5.
Number 5. Okay. Before you were employed in the SAPS, or during the period when you were employed by the SAPS, did you attend any qualifications?
Is it external qualifications or internal?
And it can be external, it can be internal, any qualifications.
I attended
if there is any.
Courses within the SAPS, which is on investigations mostly.
Ngenzeke ama courses ngaphakathi ke emaphoyiseni agcwele kakhulu ke noma ke amayela ke nophenye.
Okay. Other than internal courses, there is no qualification from any qualified academic institution.
No, my lord.
Ngaphandle kwalawo ma courses ke awekho ayikho ke la engiye ngathi ke khona ke kwi noma ke ngathi ke enyuvesi la ngithole amanye khona ke ama qualifications.
Okay. And I also take it for granted that when you were employed by the SAPS, you had matric.
That's true, my lord.
Nokuthi ke uma sengiqala ke ukusebenza emaphoyiseni ngangino matric.
Okay. Do you have any experience under the detective section, detective unit?
Yes, my lord. I've worked in the detective environment all my service.
Ukuthi ke sonke ke isikhathi lesi ngisebenza ke emaphoyiseni ngisebenza ke kule hlangothi ke noma labaphenyi noma lama detectives abasearch.
Okay, thank you. You testified, Mr. Hadebe, that you were called by Colonel Gininda.
That's true, my lord.
Shiloko ukuthi umuntu wangicela ke noma wangishayela ucingo uColonel Gininda.
And what did he say to you when he called you?
He asked me if I can assist him with pointing out on one of his cases.
Wangicela noma wangibuza ukuthi ngamsilekelela ngamsiza yini pointing out kwelinye lamacala akhe.
Okay. Wherein he was the investigating officer.
That's true, man.
La khona ke kwakuyena owayephenye.
Okay. So, Colonel Gininda, you agree with me that when he called you, he is the person who was privy with the facts of the case. Am I correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Uma ke engifonela uyena owayenolwazi ke mayelana necala.
And you were not requested by an independent person who did not have any knowledge about this case. Am I correct?
That's true, my lord.
Angicelanga umuntu ke owesecela ngaphandle ke owayengenalo ulwazi mayelana necase.
And in the absence of the conversation between yourself and Colonel Gininda in this form, we do not know what Gininda said to you when he was asking you to conduct the pointing out.
That's true, my lord.
Iqiniso ke ukuthi lokho ke ngakhulunywa ke yimina noGininda kuba ke kungekho lana anikwazi ke ukuthi yini kahle kahle esakhuluma ngayo.
Okay. You testified that when you arrived at the station, you booked out the suspect, which is Mr. Sibiya. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord.
Shiloko ukuthi bangifika lapho ngaye ngamkhipha ke kuma cell uSibiya.
Can you tell me the process and the procedure of booking out a suspect by a peace officer who is coming to take down the statement at the station? Besides including the police who refused and did what, but what is the procedure?
My Lord, the procedure is the person will be brought to my office or an office that I had requested to use, and I will then start with the interview. He will be, somebody will sign for him, bring him to my office.
Inqubo ke uma uzothatha ke umuntu ukuthi uzolethwa ke kumina kuleyo office engizobe ngiyicelile ke kunomuntu ozomsayindela amlethe ke bese ngiyaqala ke mina naye.
And is it correct that immediately when you arrived you'll go to the CSC, to the people who are in control of the custody of that inmate?
That's true, my Lord.
Ukuthi uma ufika ke uyakhona ke la avalelwe noma agcinwe khona ke.
And it will not be your duty to go and book out the suspect. You'll go to the office or to the place wherein you'll be taking down the statement. And the duty to book out the suspect is the duty of the members who are in control of that person. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Nokuthi ke akusona ke okwami ukuthi ngihambe mina ngiyomkhipha kwami ukuthi ngiye kulelo office engilinikiwe bona ke bazomletha.
And in this case that never happened. Am I correct?
That's correct, my Lord.
Nokuthi lana ke akwenzekanga lokho.
Okay. That's number one. Okay. Number two, when you decided to go to the cells, you told this court that you found the members of EMPD. What is that?
Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department.
Ngathola ke be EMPD Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department.
Okay, suppose I'm not familiar with this EMPD. Can you just use Metro Police? Is that fine?
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay. What were these Metro Police doing in the cells?
They were just standing there, my Lord. Hence I said they were guarding him.
Babemile nje lapho ke labo be Metro Police ingakho ngishilo ukuthi babegadileke noma bebhekile.
Guarding who? They were guarding who?
Guarding Mr. Sibiya.
Babegade noma bebheke yena Mr. Sibiya.
Only? Or all the suspects who were in custody at that time?
He was the only one in that holding cell.
Kwakuyena kuphela ke kuleso sele leso.
Okay. Okay. Let's now talk. Let's now explain this. The accused is in detention, is under the custody of the SAPS.
That's
correct?
true, my Lord.
Above being in custody of the SAPS, on top of that, there were extra members of the Metro Police who were guarding him as well.
That's true, my Lord.
Yebo ke kunjalo ukuthi waye ngaphansi kwamaphoyisa kodwa ngaphezulu kwalokho ke khona ke ne Metro Police.
And above that, he was handcuffed. Am I correct?
That's true, my Lord.
Nokuthi ke wayifakwe nozankosi.
Okay. Do you agree with me that on its own, the mere presence of the Metro Police guarding him whilst in the police cells posed a threat to him?
I don't agree, my Lord.
Okay. No, it's
Angivumi
fine.
ke ukuthi lokho nje kwaku nokuthi kuna Metro Police ukuthi kwaku ukumsabisa.
Okay. Do you also agree with me that when you booked out the accused from the cells, he had no choice? Did you ask him? Did you ask his consent to take him out from the cells, or you just instructed him?
I requested him to come with me.
Okay.
Ngamcela ukuthi eze noma ahambe nami.
Did he agree?
Yes.
Wavuma.
Okay. And where did you record that? That you requested the permission from the accused to book him out so that you can go to the office.
Nowhere in my statement.
Akubhalwanga lokho ku statement sami.
In your pocketbook, you had your pocketbook on that particular day.
I don't use a pocketbook.
Angiyisebenzisi pocketbook.
Are you exempted?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because I'm a commissioned officer.
Ngenxa ke isikhundla sami ke i-pocketbook angiyisebenzisa ngiphathi.
Did you record that in any diary of yours?
Yes, I have a diary,
Oh, okay.
but I don't remember recording it.
Nginayo ke diary kodwa ngikhumbule ngikubhala ke
That you
ukuthi
asked the
ngicela
accused
ivume.
for the permission to take him out from the custody, and he gave you permission, consent to that.
Yes, I did not record it.
Leko angizange ngikubhala ukuthi ngamcela wasenginikeza
You
imvume.
did not record that because you did not ask him consent.
I don't think that is the case, my lord. If you say to someone, "Ngicela siye kule office," and he agrees, he comes with you, I think that's a request, and he agrees. If it wasn't, he would have refused, which maybe he would now be making allegations that I forced him.
Yeah.
Angicabangi ke ukuthi kukanjalo ngoba ke uma ngabe ucela umuntu uthi let's go to the other office and the person agrees, lokho ke kusho ke ukuthi ke umcelile, uma kwakuukuthi ke wayenqabile ke lokho kwakuzoba ukumphoqa ke manje.
Yes, yes. I'm asking this question because we are dealing with the issue of voluntariness here. If the accused voluntarily submitted yourself to you to go to that office in the first place.
Yes.
And there is nowhere wherein he gave consent to you.
That's true.
Akukho ke lana ke ukuthi impela wavuma ke akubhaliwe phansi.
Okay. Thank you. Let's move on. Before you book him out, or before you took him out of the holding cells where accused number 1 was, did you tell him the purpose of booking him out?
We discussed the purpose after we were sitting in the office.
Inhloso ke ukuthi ngimkhiphe laphana sazokhuluma ngayo uma sesihlezi phansi ke e-office.
Okay. What did you say to him?
I informed him that as I identified myself, I first asked his names, his address, and I then identified myself through my appointment certificate and informed him of the purpose that I'm there.
Ngambuza ke imininingwane yakhe nala ahlala khona, ngase ke nami ngiyayichaza ke futhi ke ngamtshengisa ke certificate sami somsebenzi, ngase ngimtshela ke nenhloso ukuthi ngibe lapha.
Let's unpack the purpose. What did you explain to him?
I explained that I came to take a statement as he had arranged with the investigating officer.
Ngamtshela ke ukuthi ngizileke ukuthi ngizothatha istatement nanjengoba yena ke bese bekhulumisene ke nomseshi noma umphenyi wecala.
Okay. Do you know the constitutional rights in terms of section 35 of the Constitution, which says the accused or detained person must be informed of the allegations against him?
Yes, my lord.
Ngiyamazi ke section 35 la asho khona ke ukuthi kufanele aziswe namatshelwe ke ngeinsolo altheswayo.
Did you explain to the accused the allegations against him at that particular time?
I don't see how someone who's been requested to conduct a pointing out can explain the allegations against the accused if he does not form part of the investigating team.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, my lord. Can I rephrase, my lord? And furthermore, in your form, you said, I think it's on page 2 or paragraph 3, but the second page. The said was asked. I don't know what the said is. I thought it was the allegations. The said was asked whether was informed of the reason of his or her arrest as prescribed by section 35 of Act 108 of 1996. It's on the second page, my lord. It's written, it starts with paragraph 3. Second page of the pro forma, the first line, my lord, at the top. The said was asked whether he was informed of the reason for his or her arrest as prescribed by section 35 of Act 108 of section of Act 1996. Hence, I'm asking if you explained the allegations against the accused in terms of what is contained in this pro forma.
Hence, my lord, I wrote his response that he was informed.
Ingakho ke la ngibhale impendulo yakhe ngoba umbuzo uthi ke wase ebuzwa ke ukuthi uyatshelwa yini mayelana nesizathu sokuboshwa kwakhe nanjengokusho kwakhe ku section 35 ingakho ke ngabhala impendulo lokho angitshela kona mina.
Yeah, what is it that was explained to him? That's what I want to know. Because the form says the said was explained. What is it that you explained? Was it the allegations? What is it that you explained? Because the duty was for him to be explained of his allegations if we're talking about the constitutional rights in terms of section 35.
The rights, according to me, were explained during the arrest. He was informed during the arrest. And when he decided to do a pointing out, he was informed also.
Okay.
Hence, my answer here is yes, I was informed.
Lana ke ama rights enkhuluma noma ke amalungelo enkhuluma ngawo ukuthi inkathi ke eboshwa etshelwa ke ngamalungelo akheke nokuthi uboshelweniki ingakho ke futhi nangesikhathi ke sithatha isinqumo sokuthi uzokwenza pointing out wasetshelwa futhi ingakho la ngabhala impendulo yakhe.
Okay, let's forget about the arrest because you were not involved. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Let's stick to this form. I want the explanation. I want to understand this sentence which says the said was asked whether she was informed of the reasons. You understand that sentence?
It also continues going down,
Okay.
where it says the said person is informed. Now he gets informed by me of his rights.
Futhi ke le sentence isiyaqhubeka ke manje ayipheli lapho ke ufunda khona ukuthi manje ke umuntu lona usetshelwa yimina ke ngamalungelo akhe.
Okay. So, in other words, do we agree that you never informed the accused of the allegations against him? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Ukuthi insolo wayebhekene nazo ziyini mina angizange ngimtshele.
And the response that the accused gave was that, yes, I was informed, I was arrested for drug dealing.
Yes.
Waphendula ke wathi yebo ngatshelwa ngaboshelwa ke idakamizwa.
So it means the accused, when you were busy with him at this time, when you were doing this interview, he was under the impression that he was dealing with the arrest of dealing with drugs.
No.
Okay.
He was informed of his arrest. But he was in custody on a drug dealing case.
Watshelwa ke ngezathu.
Hence I said I was arrested for a drug dealing.
Colonel, let's speak like Colonel now. There's
Yes.
a difference between allegations and arrest. Those are two different things. I'm not asking about arrest, I'm asking about the allegations.
Okay.
I'm saying now, since the accused gave this answer, he's saying, I was arrested for drug dealing. It means the accused understood the allegations against him to be that of drug dealing. Am I correct?
No.
Akusukuthi ke yena ke wayecabanga ukuthi ke yena ke uboshelwe noma ke insolo ilezi ke iphathelene nedakamizwa.
You can tell me. That's why I wanted it to come from you. That's why I started by explaining, by asking from you, what is it exactly that was explained to him before he responded to this? Because there is no matter here.
Can we read this?
You can read
said
it.
person?
No problem. You can read it, Kenneth.
The said person was asked whether he was informed of the reasons for his arrest
Yes.
as prescribed in section 35.
Yes. And the answer was
So
yes.
his arrest,
Okay. Yes.
yes, I was informed of my arrest.
Yes.
I am also in custody on a drug dealing case.
Yes.
Yes.
Lana ke uma ifunda lena ke ithi use ebuzwa ke noma wasebuzwa ke ukuthi watshelwa yini ukuthi uboshelweni noma izathu wathi yebo ngatshelwa waseqhubeka futhi ke ukuthi ngiboshiwe futhi noma ke ngivalelwe futhi ngivalelwe icala ledakamizwa.
Yes. So that's why, hence I'm saying that from this response that was given by the accused, it means he was under the impression, he knew that he was under the arrest for this drug dealing. He never said, I'm under the arrest of murder, I'm under the arrest of pointing. I just said, I'm under, yes, I know the reason. I'm under the arrest of drug dealing.
The arrest of drug dealing was at secondary, my lord.
Okay.
Yes.
Did at any stage tell you that he was under the arrest of murder?
No,
Akaze angitsheleke ukuthi waboshelwa.
So why do you say this is secondary?
because of the answer he gave.
Ukuthi ke ngithi ke lena yedakamizwa impendulo yesibili ngoba ngenxa yempendulo ayinikeza.
Let's leave it for argument.
Okay.
Did you understand this form on your own? You
Yes.
per se. Okay. Let's see if you and how far you understood. Let's go further. The third person was informed of the right to remain silent. You say that right?
Yes.
Ngiyabona la kuchazwa khona ukuthi wasetshelwa ngelungelo lokuthula.
Yes. What did you say to the accused?
I read it as it is to him.
Yeah, what
Ngayifunda
did you
kuyena
say?
ngale
You
ndlela.
interpreted. I need the interpretation then you said.
Unelungelo lokuthula.
Yes.
You've got the right to remain silent.
What did the accused say?
I continued. I read. I did not go one per answer. I continued with all the rights, and he gave an answer.
I then mina ke engakwenzako ayi ukuthi ngafunda ilungelo elilodwa ngaqhubeka ngawo onke wase ke egcinene enikeza ngempendulo.
When you explain to the accused, this is a constitutional right, Colonel.
Yes.
When you said to a person, you are being informed of the right to remain silent, and you should have expected to get a response from the accused, whether he elects to remain silent or he elects to not to remain silent. Am I correct?
Maybe that is your interpretation.
Mhlambe ke indlela wena ke izwa ngayo le ukuthi uma ngithi ke nelungelo lokuthula fanele ngimeke ngimlindeleke ukuthi anginikeze impendulo.
Okay, let me put it like this. In paragraph 1, when you inform the accused of the right to remain silent, there is no election which came from the accused recorded under paragraph 1.
That's true. As I said, I continued with all the rights.
Ingakho
Don't
ngithi
rush.
ke ngaqhubeka ke ngawo onke amalungelo ngoba ke akukho akukhethileke ukuthi manje ngikhethe ukuthi ngithi.
There is no election. Let's go to number 2.
Yes.
He was informed that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences if he does not remain silent.
Yes.
Wasetshelwa ke ukuthi futhi unelungelo ke lokuthula ke noma uma kuukuthi ke ukhetha ukuthi angathuli nemiphumela ke yalokho.
What was the election or response of the accused when you explain that right? It's a second right now.
The
Right to
response
remain?
is written down at the end of whether he understands.
Impendulo ke iyakhe ukuthi wathini ke ibhalwe ke egcineni ke ukuthi ngabe uyezwa yini.
And this right that you read to the accused, which is contained in paragraph 2, is incomplete, it's vague, and does not make sense. Why I'm saying that? It's because it should have said this from the Constitution. He was informed that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences of making an admission or confession or pointing out. In other words, when you were explaining this right to the accused, you ought to have explained to him that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequences of making a pointing out. Not to say if he does not remain silent. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. Do you see that right is vague? It does not precisely speak to the consequence.
My Lord, my answer is I informed him.
Mina ke ngamtshela ke ngayo imiphumela nanjengoba uthi lana wena ke akazange achazele ngemiphumela ukuthi kuzokwenzekani.
Okay. Let's go to the third paragraph. He was also warned that he was not obliged to make any confession or admission that might be later be used against him. Where?
In court.
Lana ke kubhaliwe ukuthi wasexwayiswa ke ukuthi akaphoqelekile ukuthi ke avumeke nokuthi ke futhi lokho ke kungathi kusetshenziswa ke kamuva.
Did you say to him in court that you must know that if you choose to make a pointing out now, that pointing out might be used against you later in court, as we are explaining to now, because it's not here.
Yes, it is not here.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi lana kubhalwanga ukuthi izosetshenziswa ngakwena enkantolo akukho la.
Okay, so it means the accused was not told that what he is going to do will be used later to him in court, against him in court.
Yes, the word court was not mentioned.
Okay.
Igama ke lithi inkantolo lona ke alizange lifakweke.
Okay. Number 4, he was.
You know, once again, coming back to the same point, one cannot see these things in isolation. This fact is once again explained in paragraph 4 that whatever he points out might be later used as evidence during a subsequent trial. I don't think one can look at, for instance, paragraph 3 as counsel is saying and then ignore. It's about the totality of the explanation that was given to the accused.
My Lord, I think counsel can raise that when we are making submissions, my Lord. But I think for the purpose of cross-examination, I'm entitled to cross-examine on the content, my Lord, of paragraph 3.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Thank you.
And even Mr. Valoy is also entitled to intervene if he thinks it's justifiable. Like he says, this document, you read it holistically.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And he says you don't have to take sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. It's a holistic document which encapsulates all the rights according to...
Which I disagree with that.
No, wait. According to the state, which were supposedly told to the accused, Mr. Sibiya.
Thank you, my Lord. And which I beg to differ, my Lord, because what I'm trying to establish is what was in the mind of the accused as you were going down with the interview. What was explained to the accused as you were going down with the interview, whether it was explained properly or not. Those are my submissions. Let's move on to paragraph 4. You see paragraph 4?
Yes.
It says he was also warned that he has the right to consult with a legal representative of his or her choice. And if he cannot afford the services of such a legal representative can be appointed by the state. This is a right to legal representation.
Yes.
Lana ke ilungelo leli eliphathelene nommeli ethi wasexwayiswa-ke ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi akhulumisane ke nommeli oqoke noma okhethwe uyena uma kuwukuthi-ke angeke akwazi-ke ukuthi amkhokhele loyo mmeli leyo umbuso-ke ungamsiza-ke noma umlekeleleke ukuthi athole ummeli.
If this right was explained to the accused, what was his election? To proceed on his own, to appoint a legal representative appointed by the state, or to get a lawyer of his own choice.
My Lord, this election is mentioned on just after paragraph 5.
Ukuthi wakhetha ukuthini-ke lokho-ke kubekiwe noma kuchaziwe-ke emuva nje noma ngezansi nje paragraph 5.
Yeah, it says, do you understand the warning I have given to you? It says, yes, I understand. Are you referring to that?
Yes.
Yes, it does not tell the choice that was made by the accused, whether he wanted to conduct his own defense.
As you go down, it will show you that he still wants to confess.
Uma uhlake lapho uya enzansi lapho izokuba inkomba-ke kuwena-ke ukuthi kwakuye isifiso sakhe sokuthi aqhubeke.
Colonel, listen to you. Well, this paragraph 4 has got 3 choices. It says you've got the right to be legally represented. Which choice or which election of right was chosen by the accused? To proceed himself in his own defense as you were proceeding with pointing out, or he asked you that, no, I need a lawyer of my choice, or he said, I want the state lawyer to be appointed on my behalf?
My Lord, the answer is holistic. He gave one answer to all those rights that were explained to him. He did not give them one as counsel is asking.
Ngalendlela-ke ummeli abuza ngayo yena-ke akazange aphendule ngayo, wanikeza-ke ngempendulo eyodwa ehlanganisa-ke konke lokhu awayekubuzwa noma ekutshelwa.
And it shows that this right was not explained to the accused, because even now we are failing to understand the content of this right. The answer you are referring to, it says, yes, I understand. I understand what? Because it's supposed to indicate whether he wishes to conduct his own defense or he wishes an attorney to be appointed on his behalf. I understand what?
My rights.
Amalungelo ami ngiyawezwa.
The reason why you wrote this answer is because it never came from the accused.
It did, my Lord.
Ngibhale ngoba yayiphuma kuyena-ke le mpendulo.
And I am saying to you, the constitutional rights of the accused, as I have unpacked them to you, were not properly explained to him in the manner that he understood his rights and his choices that he had at that time before you continued?
I'm convinced that he understood all of those rights.
Unfortunately, the form does not contain those rights, but let's proceed. To paragraph 4, the said person is informed that he is in the presence of the justice. Okay? She is warned, is not compelled to point out any and/or points any sin or to say anything about the sin. The said person is further warned that she may point out or may say will be noted down. What is that? Can you read it for me?
The said person is further warned that what he may point out or say will be noted down, and photographs of the scene and or points pointed out will be taken and may later be used as evidence during a subsequent trial.
Manje ke ungaphambi ke kwalo ubizwa ukuthi justice of the peace futhi ke uyiphoyisa nokuthi ke wase exwayiswa ke ukuthi akaphoqelekile ukuthi akhombe lutho noma nayiphi indawo noma ama points nokuthi asho lutho amayela namasini noma indawo yegameko. Wase futhi exwayiswa ke nokuthi lokho angathi akukhombe noma akusho kuzobhalwa phansi kuthwetshulwe izithombe zakho noma zalezo indawo lezo noma ama points bese futhi ke kubhalwa phansi futhi kamuva ke kungasetshenziswa uma seqhulwa icala.
And then you say the said person is further warned that what he may point out or may say will be noted down. Did you note down what was pointed out by the accused?
Yes.
Lokho awakhomba ngabhala phansi.
Okay. In the proforma that I'm using, I do not see.
Sorry, ma'am. That is done afterwards. Sergeant, sorry, Colonel, is that not so?
That's true, my lord.
Yes,
Hence there
go
is a
through
statement.
the proforma first, and thereafter what he points out. Not when you're sitting in the office. He can't point out anything. Okay, that's how I understand it.
Okay. As the court please, fine, my lord. It's fine, but I don't see it in this form, but let's continue with that. You testified that the accused is the one who gave...
Page 5, paragraph 12.
No, it's not what I'm asking.
I don't have page 5 here. Yes. Do you have page 5 and page 6 for me? I've got 1, 3, 7.
I don't know where it is.
11. Okay. You'll replenish.
11, it's paragraph is page 5.
Ah, that's all. Okay, let's see. You say page 11, paragraph 5, I see.
Yes, it's got the details of the driver.
Yes.
And just below there, there's paragraph 12.
Okay. Where it says after conclusion of pointing out. I see. Okay, fine. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but it's not what I was asking, my lord. Does not answer my question. What the counsel is referring to. Right. Paragraph, my lord, if I can just read it. The paragraph that the State Counsel is referring to, it says, after conclusion of the pointing out at the scenes and points, the notes are read to the person who pointed out and they are interpreted once again. It does not address my question.
Yeah, pose the question.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. You testified that you did not record the directions given by the accused to the place where the pointing out was made, or to the place where you were going to. Do you still remember that?
Ngishilo-ke ukuthi ama-directions ayinikeza ngawo-ke ukuya kuleyo ndawo awabhaliwe phansi.
And the directions, if there were any given by the accused, ought to have been recorded in this form. Am I correct?
Where in this form?
You could have used any page to record and attach it here. Because this is not a prescribed form, it's just a pro forma form. You can attach any documents just to give evidence of what transpired as the pointing out was conducted.
My Lord, I gave evidence that he directed the driver and requested that at the entrance of Fosloras, which is an area that I don't know, he must be taken to.
And we don't see...
Nginikeze ubufakazi lana-ke ngathi yena-ke wachazela-ke umshayeli ukuthi akahambe kanjani, bese kuthi-ke uma sekungenwa-ke noma kwi-entrance yase-Phosphorus ekuyindawo mina-ke engazani nayo noma engayazi.
And what you are telling the court right now is also not contained here.
It is in my statement.
Kukhona lokho ku-statement sami.
In the pro forma, is it there?
No.
Okay.
Akukho ku-pro forma khona ku-statement sami.
Okay, it's fine. And the reason why the directions, if there were any given by the accused, to say turn left, go this way, stop here, is not contained here because the accused never gave you any directions. You drove on your own to where you wanted to.
As a policeman, not
He didn't drive. He says there was a driver movement.
yes.
He says there was a driver.
Yes.
Put it correctly to him.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam. Can I just rephrase?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Council, my lord. The council is putting this as a fact, and we know that accused number 1 has got his own legal representative. We want to know on what basis is council putting it as a fact if accused number 1 is not headlined.
My lord, the version was put by counsel for accused number 2 that he did not give directions to the witness. And that is not in conflict, my lord, with counsel for accused number 1. Can I proceed, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, my lord. Yes, do you have any response to that? Or should I rephrase, my lord? We were at the stage wherein the court said I should rephrase because he was not driving.
He says there was a driver.
Yes, the fact that you failed to record directions, if there were any given by the accused, it's because the accused never gave any directions to you to the place wherein the pointing out was made.
He did, my lord.
Ukuthi-ke ama-directions awabhalanga ngoba yena akazange anikeze ngawo. Wanikeza yena wesitshela ukuthi-ke noma wayesho kumshayeli ukuthi akahambe kanjani.
It is nowhere recorded in this pro forma wherein the accused indicated that you must stop here now.
My lord, on the statements where he's pointing out, that is where we stop.
La ku-statement la esekumanje kula akhomba khona ila esama khona.
And then the use of the interpreter during the interview.
There was no interpreter according to the Colonel.
Yes, there was no interpreter.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm saying the use, my lord.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yes, the use of the interpreter, a sworn-in interpreter, would have given the accused an opportunity to be interpreted better of this document. If it was if the interpretation was done by a sworn-in and qualified interpreter.
That's not true, my lord.
Akulona iqiniso ukuthi uma ke le form lena utolika ke ofungisiweke futhi ke oseqopheleni ke lokuthi akwenze lokho ukuthi wayezoyizwa kangcono akusilona iqiniso lelo.
You are not a sworn-in interpreter, am I correct?
That's correct.
Angiyena
also
utoli
not a-
kofungisiwe
And also not a qualified interpreter.
That's correct.
nokuthi ke qualified futhi kuyiqiniso lokho.
Let's go to page 1.
And in the SAPS, are no employed qualified interpreters.
Futhi ke emaphoyiseni ke abekho otolika ke abaseqopheleni ke abasebenza khona.
But at least an independent person should have been used to do the interpretation in between, when you explain in English and the English be interpreted to the deponent.
I don't agree with it.
Angivumi ke ukuthi kwakufanele ukuthi kuthobe umuntu ke ngaphandle ke owayezokwenza ke lokho noma enzo leyo msebenzi.
Let me take you to this point just to show you that the accused did not understand the interpretation you gave to him. First page. I don't know what the number is here, but it's the last sentence of the first page wherein it says this, who interpreted from, and then present in my office and nobody else. You see that sentence?
Yes.
Yeah, but what I want to draw your attention to, it's when it says, I show him my appointment certificate and his reaction is as follows. You see that one?
Yes.
Yes. What's the response there?
I confirm.
Confirming what?
That I've been shown the appointment certificate.
Oh, you were confirming?
Yes.
Oh,
Lana
it's
ke
not the-
lana ke akushoyo ukuthi ke wayesevuma ke manje ukuthi ngempela ke ngimtshengisile certificate sami sokuthi ngiyiphoyisa
And that I'm a commissioned officer.
nokuthi ke ngiyi-officer ke commissioned.
No. Let's not mix issues in this sentence. I understand that you are the one who were showing the accused your appointment certificate, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. So the reaction is that I confirm. Is confirming what?
I've said it.
Sengikushilo ukuthi
Confirming that I've said.
wayevuma
That I've showed him my appointment certificate.
ukuthi wayeconfirm ukuthi noma ke evuma ukuthi i-certificate sami ngisikhiphile ngamtshengisa
But this answer
wayevuma.
does not make sense.
My lord, maybe it doesn't make sense to cancel. But in isiZulu, if someone says, ngiyavuma ngibonile appointment certificate yami, and how do I rephrase it now differently for the council to understand?
If uma umuntu esho lokho ke actually ukhona ngesizulu that I confirm that I did see your appointment certificate, ngingakusho kanjani noma ngingakushintsha kanjani?
It's fine. I will argue about that. Let's leave it.
Yes.
Now, when you were at the scene, it is your evidence that you were in the company of the Metropolis. I said Metropolis, this EMD police.
Metropolis.
Metropolis, yes. Why was it necessary? Was the accused handcuffed?
Yes.
When you're driving to that area that you knew? Was the accused handcuffed?
Of the area that I knew.
Yes. Was the accused handcuffed?
I never knew that area.
Yeah, but was the accused handcuffed?
Yes, the accused was handcuffed.
Wayefakiwe ozankosi masiya kuleyo ndawo futhi ke akusilona qiniso ukuthi kwakuyindawo engangiyazi.
In your experience, 30 years of experience, have you encountered any escape when a person was handcuffed and he was able to break the handcuff and escape?
Not me personally, but I've seen incidents where people have escaped in handcuffs.
Hayi ukuthi lokho kwake kwenzeka ke mina ke kodwa sengike ngayibona ke izehlakalo la abantu beqa khona ke befakiwe ozankosi.
Okay. And you also informed this court that the Metro Police were around in the vicinity. Am I correct?
That's true, my lord.
Shiva ke nokuthi ke aba Metro Police babeseduze ke lapho.
Why in the vicinity? If they were guarding the suspect not to escape, because they were supposed to be with you.
The necessity of guarding is not only about escape.
Okay.
It's also about the safety of everybody who's involved there. That's my understanding of their presence, my lord.
Indlela ke mina ke ngikuzwisisa ngayo ukuba khona kwabo ke Metro Police ayukuthi nje kuphela kubheke ukuthi umuntu uzokweqa kodwa ke nokuvikeleka kwaye wonke umuntu okhona lapho.
But the problem here, this person, the accused, alleges, as per the instruction by his counsel, that he was assaulted by the police, including this Metro Police. And the same Metro Police are in the vicinity wherein the pointing out is conducted.
As a court case, if my memory serves me well, counsel for accused number 1 and 2 never said he was assaulted by Metro Police. He said by TRT members, not Metro Police.
Oh, may I just rephrase, my lord? By TRT police officers. In other words, with the point I'm trying to say to you, the accused had been assaulted by the police, whether it's SAPS, TRT, Metro Police. And those police, there are police also in the vicinity wherein he is conducting the pointing out.
That's true, my lord. And their presence, I don't think it was a threat to him.
Impela ke babekhona ke lapho ke beseduze futhi ke ukuba khona kwabo ke ama Metro Police angicabanga ukuthi lokho ke kwakumsabisa yena ke Msolo.
But I'm putting it to you. You can respond if you want to.
I have responded.
The presence of those police officers induced fear to the accused at that time when you were conducting the pointing out.
My comment is it didn't.
Mina ke ngithi ke ukuba khona kwabo ke lapho Metro Police kwakungabusabisi Msolo.
When you were finished and taking the accused back to the station, did you book him back?
That's true, my lord.
Mase ngimbuyisela ke ngaphinda ke futhi ngayombhuka ke ukuthi ke manje sengiyabuyisela.
And these Metro Police were still there when you booked the suspect back?
When I booked him, I was alone in the CSC.
Uma ngimbhuka ke noma sengimbuyisela ngakuyimina ngedwa ke lapho eCSC noma
when he was taken back to the cells?
I don't know who took him back to the cells because I booked him back and placed him in the holding cell that he was there and I left.
Mina ke ngambuyisela ke ngamshiya ke kwisele leso ke awayekusona ngase ngimshiya lapho.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Okay.